Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today's episode is all about the benefits that the registered nurses receive when they work here in Australia, specifically in the state of New South Wales. Before I will discuss in details the different kinds of benefits, I will give you first the meaning of the definitions of the following terms. The first term is the award. Award is a legal document that sets out the minimum wages or pay rates and the conditions of employment. The second one is the enterprise bargaining agreement. It is also a legal document that sets out the same thing as the award, sets out the minimum wages and conditions of employment, but this is generally arrived at through the negotiation between the employer and the union, and it should be endorsed by the Fair Work Australia. The benefits that I will be discussing are covered in the award and the enterprise bargaining agreement, or the EBA. Let's get started. The first one is leave. There are different kinds of leaves that a registered nurse can be entitled to. The most common one is the annual leave. The minimum annual leave per year is 4 weeks, and that is for a full-time registered nurse. If you will be working as a part-time registered nurse, then your annual leave will be on a pro rata basis in proportion to the number of hours that you work per year. What do you call this? Your entitlement for the annual leave doesn't stop there, because when you apply for an annual leave and you get paid, you will also get paid for the leave loading. What does that mean? So leave loading is an extra payment on top of your annual leave pay, and this is normally 17.5% of your base rate or normal pay. So that is actually good. The reason for that is it compensates the expenses that you incur when you are on leave. Another thing that is so good with the annual leave is that you can cash it out. But there is a catch. You have to make sure that the amount of hours left for your annual leave is not less than 4 weeks or not less than a month. So if you have, say, if you are a full-time RN and you have around 300 to 400 hours, then you can probably cash out 100 hours of it, or more than 100 hours. The second one is the sick leave, or this is now commonly known as the personal or carer's leave. For a full-time RN, you are able to avail 10 days of sick leave every year. And this is also cumulative. So it means that if you are not able to use it up for that particular year, then it will also be carried over into the following year. However, sick leave cannot be cashed out. The third one would be the paid parental leave. So this includes either the father or the mother. As for the mother can avail the maternity leave between 8 weeks to 14 weeks, and this depends on the awards and the enterprise bargaining agreement of the organization that you're working with. And this parental leave actually includes not only for the birth of the child, but also on the day that you adopted a child. Isn't it, baby? The fourth one is the long service leave. So you will get paid for 2 months of leave or holiday after you work for 10 years in an organization. How good is that? Oh, I can't wait. But
It's still a long way for me to go to for that 10 years. Anyway, move on. The fifth one would be the compassionate and bereavement leave. So this one is separate from your annual leave, and this is not cumulative, but you can avail for up to 2 to 3 days paid leave if a family member, a relative, is on a palliative stage or has died. The first 5 leaves that I mentioned to you are the most common ones, and there are still others. So the next one would be the study or the professional development leave. You can take up to 3 days of a study leave. Again, this one depends on the awards or the enterprise bargaining agreement of the organization. The seventh one would be the community service leave. There is also this family violence leave if you experience violence in the family and you need to take a leave. There are organizations that can pay you for 2 days. Others are only offering unpaid leave for that one. And another leave, the last one that I will discuss will be the jury duty leave. So you can get paid for up to 10 days of absence from your work if you are required to attend a jury service. What is that? Yeah, if you are, yes, a jury service. But again, the first benefit is the leave. Now, we'll move on to the second one, and that would be the allowances. There are also different kinds of allowances, but I will only mention the 4 basic ones. So the first one is the in-charge allowance, and this one you will receive this on top of your regular salary if you are in charge in a ward or a ward and the hospital. And this is the amount of allowance that you will receive will also be based on if it is less than 100 beds or more than 100 beds. I will discuss the numbers probably on my next video about the salary. The second allowance would be the uniform and laundry allowance, and that is paid per hour. The third one is the on-call allowance, and there's also what we call the vehicle or transportation allowance. And the vehicle and transportation allowance is more common, what do you call this, is offered to those who are working in the community setting. The third benefit would be the superannuation. So superannuation, I would say, is equivalent to the SSS pension in the Philippines. Is that right, Habi? SSS bang pension? Yeah. So the superannuation is regularly paid by your employer towards your future pension. And one thing is that here in Australia, I cannot generalize, but here in New South Wales, the superannuation is paid on top of your salary. For the period 2021 to 2022, the current superannuation rate is 10%. It means 10% of your, it means that your employer will be paying 10% of your earnings towards your superannuation, or we call it here in short term super, so, or the pension. Superannuation is separate from the salary that you receive every fortnight or every month, depending on how you get paid. Normally, I have worked in 4 or 5 organizations already, and I have been paid every fortnight. It means it's every 14 days we get paid. I get paid. So yes, the superannuation is separate, and it means it's not deducted from your usual salary, which is good. The fourth benefit would be the salary packaging. So what is it? Salary packaging is there is an allocated portion of your salary that is what do you call this? No, a portion of your salary is allocated to your particular expenses in a year, and this is tax-free. If you are working in a public hospital, you can get a tax-free of up to $9,000 per year. And if you're working in a not-for-profit organization or aged care provider in particular, then you can get a tax-free of up to $15,900 per year. So I'll give you an example. Say for example, you work in a public hospital, because the numbers are different. Because I have worked, my first year I worked in the hospital. It was a private organization, but it was under the NSW Health, so I can share with you my experience on that side. And currently I'm working in a not-for-profit organization, so I am getting this bigger tax-free salary packaging. So if your annual salary or income is 60,000 and you work in the public hospital, it means that the 60,000 will not be your taxable income. So the salary packaging that worth $9,000 will be deducted from it. So 60,000 minus 9,000 is equals to 51,000, and that 51,000 will be your taxable income. On the other hand, if you're working in a not-for-profit organization or aged care providers or aged care facilities, then if you receive a 60,000 salary per annum or per year minus the 15,900, then your taxable income will only be 44,100. Did I get it right, Habi?
Tapos inunin mo nga, this is based on 2021.
That's right. And this one, as per Habi, because he reminds me, well done, Habi. This is based on the 2021 rate, okay? So what does that mean then? So you will be paying less tax because your taxable income is lesser, which is also good. That's the reason why I was looking after the salary packaging when I was still searching for a job. So I wanted to make sure the jobs or the organization that I am what do you call this? I am making sure that the job that I am looking for offers this salary packaging. Otherwise, I will be paying more tax. And which is, sakit siya sa buot. Ay, dili, sakit siya sa heart. So, yes. That's the salary packaging. You will get to know that, by the way, from the organization's awards or enterprise bargaining agreements. And these legal documents are actually accessible, publicly accessible. Is that right? Ma-access siya ba online? Kung you can actually find the rates, the conditions of employment of that particular organization because it is available online. I think, are we on the fifth one? Yes. The fifth one would be, of course, the work flexibility. If you are the kind of person who likes to work morning, then you can choose the morning shift. There's also a PM shift, we call it the afternoon shift, and the night shift. And you can also get to choose if you want to work full-time, part-time, or casual. Casual is also what do you call this? Others call it as an on-call basis, as an on-call employment. There is also a temporary contract employment. But these three are the most common ones: full-time, part-time, and the casual. So it's really flexible. Whatever suits your lifestyle, then you can choose whatever shift or schedule you would like. The next one would be the professional development training. Every organization offers this one. It could either be free or sponsored. So it's really nice that, especially if they have seen you performing really well. Most of the organizations here offer trainings, and also sometimes if they really see a potential in you and they could feel like you are a good asset to their company, they can also sponsor you with these trainings. The seventh one would be career advancement. It means that here you are able to explore different kinds of roles, and you can also specialize in whatever role you want to, whatever role you want to be. And it's a career focused environment here when you work here in Australia. So even the employers or organizations, they are also encouraging that you specialize. Either you want to be a pediatric nurse, a family and child nurse, mental health nurse, aged care nurse, ED nurse, whatever nurse, nursing specialist, you can do it here. They can also, another thing, they can also sponsor you with for your further education, which is actually good. The last but not the least, and the most awaited one, number 8, would be the earning potentials or the salary. I will be discussing the salary, all the numbers on my next video, because it's quite a long thing, and we have to take into consideration as well the classification, your qualification, the position. They say location also affects the salary. Based on my research online, they said that Australia is one of the top 10 countries that pay or offer registered nurses with good salaries. And I will be discussing more of this one on my next video. I hope this video is helpful for everyone who is interested to come here in Australia and work as a registered nurse. And I will be doing, and as I mentioned, Tony is banging. Knock, knock. Okay, so on my next video, I will be discussing about the salary. And if you're all still interested, please subscribe to this channel and we will be very grateful. Thank you. Till next time.